Hello guys, welcome to our next video, which is a bit different from the other ones. Today we are going to compare between NASA and ISRO. NASA is Space plus Aeronautics, which we often forget. ISRO is only space. Talking about the space part of NASA, although the ultimate aims to of all space agencies coverage on comparison, NASA stands very different from ISRO. Yes guys, one thing, if you are not interested in spacecrafts and all, then sorry to say this video is not your cup of tea. Anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button, comment and subscribe, and yes, press the bell icon too. So let's begin. Does the early bird always get the worm? What about space pigeons aiming for cosmic wormholes? Bad puns aside, I would like to shed light on one of the greatest stories ever recorded by mankind, the space race, and why I am proud to be on the turtle's side. India, the late bloomer. In the year 1975, amidst the celebrations following the launch of India's first satellite, the rest of the world didn't bat an eyelid. Launching a satellite was so 1957. The Soviets and the Americans had been moonwalking between coffee breaks by then. Of course, our nation had reasons like poor funding for space programs and general lack of enthusiasm by the Indian population. But at that time, the global perception of ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, was akin to a cat chasing a laser pointer. But here is where it gets interesting. The journey of NASA. NASA, jacked up on the success of the Apollo 11 moon landing mission, started sucking in more and more dollar bills from the Federal Reserve. As of 2016, NASA has an annual budget of a whopping $19.2 billion, which is more than the budget of all other space agencies in the world combined. Of late, NASA's and other space organizations' metabolism have been seen a sharp increase. Riding on the tides of almost forgotten achievements, a huge chunk of its funding is burned away by the failed endeavors of overly ambitious projects. Conceit and carelessness have invisible price tags. While all this happened, India played the role of the slow but steady tortoise. Over time, the number of hits more than made up for its misses. Now let's start the comparison. First is vision and mission. NASA's vision is to reach for new heights and reveal all the unknown so that what we do and learn will benefit all humankind. ISRO's vision is to harness space technology for national development while pursuing space science research and planetary exploration. Number 2 is rocket fleet. NASA's rocket fleet is Delta family, Atlas family, Minotaur, which is operational, Space Launch Systems, which is in progress, Titan family, Space Shuttle, and a lot more which are retired. ISRO's rocket fleet is PSLV, GSLV, which is operational, LVM-3, which is in progress, SLV, ASLV, which is retired. Number 3 is satellites. NASA's satellites are currently has more than 50% of orbiting satellites, which is more than 500. A lot more are retired. ISRO's satellites are: there are 78 satellites launched till date, out of which many are decommissioned. Number 4 is solar system explorations. NASA's solar system explorations are human landing on Moon, robot landings on Mars, which are done by Spirit, Opportunity, Phoenix, and Curiosity. Spacecrafts to Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and beyond, which are done by Cassini, New Horizons, Juno, Voyager, Mariner, and a lot more. ISRO's solar system explorations are Chandrayaan-1 in orbit around Moon, and number 2 is Mangalyaan in orbit around Mars. Number 5 is the budget. NASA's budget is $17.6 billion, which is current with a variation, whereas ISRO's budget is $1.2 billion, which is current and is maximum. Now there is a question why ISRO has gained more popularity. Although there were a lot of failed missions, ISRO always found a way to get back up. Eventually, it would get a 34 successful launches in a row streak. Then Mangalyaan happened. With that, India became the 6th country whose scientists and engineers showed sufficient smarts and funding to do this. What's more, their achievement was not only to successfully send a satellite to Mars, but to do so on their first try, which spent only $75 million. The Americans, who entered Martian orbits just 3 days before the Indian Mars orbiter mission till their Maven satellite, spent $683 million, or 9 times more. With the increasing sophistication of satellite missions and diversity of mission objectives, the technological complexities of building satellites suited to mission goals to have also increased. Over the 25 satellite launches that the ISRO has carried out in the last 2.5 decades, the organization has achieved a degree of sophistication that makes it an emerging competitor in the world space business. Indeed, some have argued that ISRO has attained such a stage in satellite building that this activity can be hived off as a separate corporate entity operating on commercial lines. It might as well be the time for it to focus on evolving new spacecraft platforms for the future and strategies for the new millennium. Unfortunately, this vision is not evident at least as yet, and if ISRO wishes to survive in the global space segment market, it better begin to think and set differently. Now to conclude, I am going to say that most space organizations like NASA are succumbing to more reasonable approaches by commercial organizations like SpaceX. This is why ISRO is arguably doing much better than NASA and USSR. Needless to say, it hadn't better take a leaf out of history. The hardest part of any organization is actually the part that comes after that. Let's just hope ISRO has what it takes to keep the throne warm.